The strange arrival it was a cold, quiet night in John's small town. The wind blew softly outside, rattling the windows of his old house. John sat alone in his living room, trying to finish a book, but he couldn't focus. He felt lonely, but he was used to it. Suddenly, there was a strange noise outside, like something heavy had fallen in his backyard. John jumped, his heart beating fast. He put his book down and listened. There it was, again a soft, desperate cry, almost like someone calling for help. John stood up and walked carefully to the back door. He opened it slowly, feeling the cold air rush in. At first, he saw nothing but shadows and trees. Then he noticed a strange, glowing shape near his garden. It was small, and it was moving as he stepped closer. John's eyes grew wide. There was a girl lying on the ground. She looked about 17, her clothes torn and dirty. Her hair shone in the moonlight, and her skin looked almost too pale, like she had never seen the sun. She was crying quietly, her face hidden in her hands. John hesitated, unsure what to do. Was she hurt? Was this some kind of trick? He had never seen her before. He looked around, but the street was empty and silent. There was no one else. He knelt beside the girl. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. She didn't answer, just sobbed harder. Her body shook as if she was freezing. John took off his jacket and gently put it around her shoulders. "It's all right," he said, trying to sound calm. "You're safe now. My name is John. Can you tell me your name?" Slowly, the girl looked up at him. For a moment, John gasped. Her eyes were silver, not gray, not blue, but a bright, shining silver. They almost glowed in the dark. She looked scared and lost, like she didn't belong here at all. "Please," she whispered, her voice shaking. "Don't send me away. I'll be a good girl. I promise, just let me stay." Tears ran down her cheeks as she spoke. John was surprised by her words. Why would he send her away? Who was she running from? He helped her stand up. She was weak, almost too light for her age. John wrapped his arm around her to support her, and together they went inside the house. He brought her to the living room and sat her on the old sofa. She clung to the jacket, eyes wide, still looking around as if she expected someone to burst through the door. John wanted to ask her 100 questions, but he saw how scared she was. He went to the kitchen and made her a cup of warm tea. When he came back, she was sitting very still, her feet tucked under her, trying to make herself small. He handed her the cup. She took it with both hands, her fingers trembling. "Thank you," she whispered. John sat across from her, not wanting to scare her more. "Can you tell me your name?" He tried again. The girl looked down. "Laura?" she said softly. "That's a nice name," John replied, hoping she would feel safe. "You don't have to be afraid. No one is going to hurt you here." Alara looked at him with big, sad eyes. For a moment, she looked like she wanted to say something else, but then she shivered, curling up tighter in the jacket. Suddenly, there was a noise outside, sharp, metallic sound, almost like footsteps on the street. Alara froze, her eyes full of fear. She dropped the cup, and it rolled onto the floor, spilling tea everywhere. John stood up quickly and went to the window. He couldn't see anyone, but the street light flickered strangely. He closed the curtains and locked the door. When he turned back, Ilara was looking at him, her whole body shaking. "They're looking for me," she whispered. "Please, don't let them take me. I just want to stay. I'll be good, I promise." John didn't know what to say. He had never seen anyone so scared. He knelt down in front of her and tried to smile. "You can stay here tonight, Alara. I won't let anyone hurt you." For the first time, she smiled a little. It was a small, sad smile, but it was real. She wiped her tears away and pulled the jacket tighter. John turned off the lights and sat in the chair. watching over her as she fell into a restless sleep. Outside, the wind picked up, and somewhere in the darkness, another shadow moved slowly. Past the house, John knew that tonight everything had changed. He just didn't know how much. Asterisk, she wasn't just running from someone. She was hiding a secret that could change everything I knew about the world. I closed the curtains tight and locked the front door. My hands were shaking. The strange girl from last night was still sitting on the couch, wrapped in my old patched blanket. She looked lost and tired, eyes red from crying. But what scared me most was that she didn't look like she belonged here. Not in this house. Maybe not even on this planet. I made her some tea just to do something normal, but my mind was racing. Why had she come to me? Who was she running from? She held the cup with both hands, warming her fingers. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper. "Thank you for letting me stay, John. How do you know my name?" I asked, trying to sound calm. She looked up, surprised. "I heard it last night. You said it when you called someone on your phone." I learned quickly. I promise I am not dangerous. But she flinched when a dog barked outside. She kept looking at the window, as if she expected something too. Break in any moment. I sat on the chair across from her, keeping my distance. "Who are you, and what happened to you?" She looked down, twisting the edge of the blanket between her fingers. Then she whispered, "My name is Alara. I am not from here. Not from Earth." I stared at her. For a second, I thought she was joking or maybe crazy. But then I remembered how I found her last night, her wounds healing in seconds, her silver eyes glowing in the moonlight, her voice echoing strangely in the air. The pieces didn't fit any normal story. "Where are you from?" I asked carefully. She looked me in the eye. "Far away. A planet you do not know. My people came here, eh? Long time ago. Some of us just want peace, but others, they want control. They want to take over your world." My stomach turned cold. "Why are they after you?" She pressed her lips together, tears forming again. "Because I refuse to help them. I'm supposed to help them find the leader of your world." "But," I said. "No, I said it was wrong. Why did you come to me?" My voice was almost a whisper now. She wiped her eyes. "You have kindness. I can feel it. My people can sense feelings. Your house was full of hope, even when you were alone. I thought maybe you could help me." I looked away. All my life I had wanted something exciting to happen. But not like this. Not with danger in every shadow and a crying alien girl in my living room. She reached for my hand, but stopped herself. "I know this is hard to believe, but I need your help, John. If they find me, they will hurt your world. Please, let me stay. Just for a little longer." I nodded slowly. I didn't really understand what I was getting into, but her voice, so full of fear and hope, made it hard to say no. Suddenly, there was a flash of blue light outside. The air hummed, and the lights in my house flickered. Alara jumped up, her eyes wide. "They are here," she whispered. I grabbed her hand. This time, not thinking twice. "Come with me. We have to hide." We moved quickly, slipping out the back door into the cold morning fog. I could hear footsteps behind us, heavy, not human. We ran down the alley, past the empty houses and broken fences. Alara was breathing hard, but she kept up with me. I looked back once and saw a figure in a long coat, with eyes shining bright white. He stopped and sniffed the air, then smiled. "They can smell fear," Alara said softly. We ducked behind a dumpster, hiding in the shadows. My heart was beating so loud I thought they would hear it. Alara pressed a finger to her lips. After a few minutes, the footsteps faded. But I knew it was not over. We sat there, waiting, breathing quietly. Alara leaned against me, shivering. "John," she whispered, I know you want to help, but it's not safe for you anymore. If you stay with me, your life will change forever." I looked at her. Even with her silver eyes and strange powers, she just seemed like a scared girl lost far from home. "I already made my choice," I said. "I'm not leaving you alone." She smiled through her tears. For the first time, I saw hope in her eyes. But then, in the darkness, we heard another voice, deep, metallic voice that echoed down the alley. "Alara, come out. We know you're here. Surrender, and the human will not be harmed." We both froze. The danger was closer than ever, and I realized I was now part of something much bigger than myself. The house shook, and a blue light flashed through every window. I grabbed Ilara's hand. This was no longer just her fight, it was mine too. We didn't have time to think. The voice in the alley grew louder, almost robotic, echoing off the old brick walls. "Alara, we have found you. Do not run." Alara's grip tightened on my arm. She was trembling, but her eyes glowed brighter, now silver, with a hint of blue, like a stormy sky. "John, they're coming. They don't care about you. If they see you, they'll erase your mind, or worse." Her voice shook, but there was a quiet strength in it too. I peeked around the dumpster. Two figures in dark suits were moving down the alley, faces hidden behind smooth, shining masks. I couldn't tell if they were human at all. One of them raised his hand, and a blue beam of light shot from his wrist, scanning the shadows. "Come on," I whispered. "This way." We slipped along the back fence, trying not to make a sound. My heart was pounding so loud I thought it might give us away. I kept glancing at Ella Rouge. She was moving strangely, light on her feet, as if she floated instead of walked. We ducked into a narrow side street. Garbage cans clattered under our feet. Alara stopped, listening, her head tilted. "They can hear." "The smallest sound," she said, her voice barely a breath. Suddenly, a blue light flashed behind us. The taller hunter called out, his voice deeper than thunder. "Stop." We ran. I didn't look back, just focused on the end of the alley, the faint morning light beyond the shadows. My legs burned, but I held on to Elira's hand. Then the air shimmered in front of us. The second hunter appeared, blocking our escape. He moved fast, too fast for a human. His mask opened, and I saw his eyes, white, glowing, cold. "Give up, Alara," he said. "You can't run from us." She stood in front of me, small but unafraid. "You cannot force me. You cannot hurt him." He laughed, a strange, metallic sound. "You care about this human. How weak you've become." Suddenly, Ilara raised her hand. A thin shield of blue light appeared between us and the hunter. He pressed his palm against it, and sparks flew. "Run, John," she said. "I'll hold him back. I'm not leaving you." I shouted, but she pushed me back with a wave of her hand, soft but impossible to resist. "Find the old library at the edge of town. Wait for me there. Trust me." I hesitated, watching the hunters push against her shield. Ilara was straining, her body shaking, but she wouldn't let them through. "I promise I'll find you," I said, then turned and ran, dodging through the maze of backyards and alleys behind me. The alley exploded with light and sound, metal clashing, voices shouting, glass breaking. I kept running, my chest aching, Alara's last words echoing. In my mind, find the old library. I finally stopped in the park near the edge of town, hiding behind a cluster of trees. I could see the library from there, dark, silent, abandoned for years. I waited, breathless, trying to calm my nerves. Minutes felt like hours. Every shadow looked like a hunter. I checked my phone, no signal. The world felt emptier than ever. Suddenly, someone stepped from the trees behind me. I jumped, ready to run. "Alara?" I whispered. It was her. She was covered in dirt and blood, but she was smiling. You did good, John. I told you I'd find you. I hugged her, not caring how strange it felt. She laughed weakly and leaned on me. We can't stay here long, she said. They'll keep looking, but I know what to do next. I helped her into the library, dust rising in the morning light. We sat among broken books and old memories. They want something from me, she said, her eyes suddenly serious. Something. I have to keep safe. But first, I need your help. I nodded. Anything. Just tell me what to do. Lara smiled, tired but hopeful. Then stay close. The hunt has only just begun. Outside, a distant siren wailed. The hunters were still out there. And for the first time, I realized how far I was willing to go to keep her safe. Asterisk, she looked at me with those glowing eyes, full of fear and hope. Do you trust me, John? I knew my answer could change everything. We sat in the dark library, dust floating in the air like tiny stars. The outside world felt far away, just silence, broken glass, and old books. Elara rested her head against a shelf, her breath shaky and fast. Blood was on her shirt, but the wound was already closing, skin weaving itself together in seconds. I stared, amazed and a little afraid. Are you okay? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She nodded, but I could see the pain in her eyes. It hurts, but I heal fast. I always do. She wiped her face, leaving a smudge on her cheek. I wanted to say something comforting, but my mind was racing. Who was she? Really? Why should I trust her? What if she was using me? Or worse, what if helping her put everyone I cared about in danger? I glanced at the door. The library felt safe for now, but I knew the hunters could come any time. My hands were sweating. I tried to think straight, but nothing made sense anymore. Elara noticed. You're scared, she said softly. It's okay. I would be too. She reached out, her fingers just touching mine. I flinched, not meaning to, but I couldn't help. She pulled her hand back, eyes filling with sadness. I'm not here to hurt you, John, or anyone. I promise. Her voice broke, and she looked away. I tried to believe her. I wanted to, but questions burned inside me. Why should I trust you? I barely know you. You're different. You bring danger with you. Those things, they want you. But what if they hurt my family? What if they hurt everyone? Elara took a shaky breath. You're right. I'm dangerous to be around. If you want me to leave, I will. But I can't stop them alone. I don't want anyone to die. That's why I ran. I disobeyed orders. They want me because I refuse to betray your kind. She looked at me, tears shining in her silver eyes. All I want is a place to feel safe, a chance to start over. I'm tired of running, but I can't do it without someone I trust. I stared at her, heart pounding. She looked so lost, so human. I remembered her crying in my living room, begging me to let her stay. It didn't feel like a trick. It felt real. How do I know you're telling the truth? I whispered. She hesitated, then did something strange. She took my hand, pressing it to her heart. Her skin was warm and soft. Suddenly, a wave of feelings washed over me, not words, but emotions. Fear, hope, loneliness, and something else, trust. She let go, breathing hard. I can share my feelings, but only if you let me. Now you know how scared I am, how much I need your help. I was stunned. My own fear melted a little. I could feel her pain, her hope. It was like hearing the truth, straight from her soul. I believe you, I said finally. Voice barely more than a whisper. A small smile appeared on her lips. Thank you. That's all I need. Suddenly, a crash echoed from the back of the library. I jumped. Elara pulled me behind a bookshelf, motioning for silence. Footsteps echoed on broken tiles. I held my breath. A shadow passed by the window. A hunter, scanning the library with a device that beeped softly. We didn't move. The hunter paused, then left, the sound of his boots fading away. We stayed hidden a long time. When it was finally quiet, Alara whispered, "They're getting closer." "We have to leave soon." I nodded. "What do we do now?" She thought for a moment. "There's something I need to find. Something hidden here on Earth. If I get it before them, I might have a chance." "What is it?" I asked. "A key," she said softly. "Not just any key, a piece of technology from my world. It can protect us, maybe even send me home." I stood up, determination growing in my chest. "Then, let's find it together. I trust you now." Alara smiled, relief flooding her face. "Thank you, John. You won't regret this." But as we stepped out of the shadows, another noise came from outside. Familiar, metallic voice. "You cannot hide forever. We are coming." I looked at Alara. The hunt was not over, but at least now we would face it together. Alara looked at me, her eyes glowing softly in the dusty morning light. "There's something hidden in this town, John. If we don't find it before they do, everything will be lost." We left the old library quietly, moving through empty streets. Before the sun was fully up, Lara walked quickly, but every few steps, she glanced behind us, as if expecting shadows to reach out and grab her. I was still scared, but now I trusted her. Every time our eyes met, it felt like we were sharing a silent promise. No matter what happened, we'd face it together. We stopped in front of an abandoned electronics shop. The windows were broken, old posters peeled from the walls, showing things people didn't use anymore. Alara pressed her hand to the door. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a strange blue symbol glowed under her palm, and the lock clicked open. "How did you do that?" questioned Kate. She smiled, a little sad. "My people built this place a long time ago, just in case. The key I'm looking for, it's hidden inside." Inside, the shop was cold and dark. Broken TVs and tangled wires lay everywhere. Alara knelt by a cracked mirror and ran her fingers along the frame. Suddenly, the mirror slid aside, revealing a staircase going down. We crept into the darkness. I followed her closely, trying not to trip on the broken steps. The air smelled of dust and old secrets. At the bottom, we found a small room lit by a single blue light. In the center, on a pedestal, was a strange metal box. It looked old, but it hummed with energy. "This is it," Alara said. She touched the box, and it opened like a flower, revealing a thin, silver device the size of a card. I stared. "What is it?" She held it carefully, her hands shaking. "It's a neural key. With this, I can unlock or block any memory, my own or someone else's. My people wanted to erase your leaders' minds, make them forget who they are. If I have it, maybe I can stop them. Or maybe I can send myself back home." Before I could reply, a loud crash echoed above us. Dust rained down. Voices metallic and cold shouted from the shop above. "The hunters had found us." Lara single quotes, as face went pale. "They're here. We have to go now." I grabbed her hand and we ran up the stairs, the device clutched tightly to her chest. As we reached the shop, the first hunter burst through the door, eyes glowing white. "Give us the key, Alara," he demanded. "You can't win." She stepped in front of me, her voice trembling but strong. "I won't let you hurt him. Or anyone." The hunter lunged, fast as lightning. Alara raised the device suddenly. Blue light shot out, knocking the hunter backwards. But more of them were coming, their voices echoing. "You can't escape. We will find you." We ran through the back door, crashing into the morning light. The whole town seemed different, now every street a possible trap. Every window, a watching eye. We hid in an alley, breathing hard. Elara looked at me, tears in her eyes. "We can't run forever, John. If they catch us, they'll use the key. They'll erase everything." I squeezed her hand. "Then we'll fight. Whatever it takes." Elara nodded, hope flickering in her eyes, even as sirens wailed in the distance and heavy footsteps echoed down the empty street. Somewhere in the morning fog, the hunters were still searching. But now, we had the key and maybe, just maybe, a chance. We ran through narrow streets as the morning sun broke over the rooftops. Every sound made my heart jump. The key pulsed with blue light in Elara's hand, humming like a trapped bird. The hunters were everywhere, shadows moving between parked cars, metallic voices echoing down alleys. Lara stopped suddenly in front of an old water tower on the edge of town. "This is it," she whispered. "They'll come for us here. We end it now." She handed me the neural key. "I fall, destroy this. Promise me, John." I swallowed, fear tightening my chest. "But I need you, Elara." She smiled softly. "You won't lose me, I promise. But you must be ready." The ground shook. 3 hunters appeared from the fog, moving in perfect silence, eyes glowing like white fire. Their leader stepped forward, mask splitting open to reveal a face almost human, but too perfect, too cold. "Elara," he said, voice calm and sharp, "give us the key. We'll let the boy live." Elara stood tall. "No. This ends now. You can't control them, you can't control me." The hunters spread out, circling us. I tried to hide the key, my hands shaking. Suddenly, one of them moved, lightning fast, grabbing my arm. Pain shot through me. Elara shouted, raising her hand. Blue energy blasted out, knocking the hunter back, but another tackled her, pinning her to the ground. I screamed her name, but the leader turned to me, eyes cold. "Give me the key, human, or watch her suffer." I stared at the device in my hand. My mind raced. Elara's voice echoed, "If I fall, destroy this." But could I really do it? Suddenly, Elara's eyes glowed brighter than ever. She broke free, sending a shockwave through the ground. The hunters stumbled back. Ata stood, shaking, blood on her face but fire in her eyes. She reached out. "John, throw me the key." I tossed it. She caught it in one swift motion, then pressed it to her own forehead. The blue light exploded, blinding everyone. When the light faded, the hunters were on their knees, groaning, confused. Their leader clutched his head, memories slipping away like sand through fingers. Elara turned to me, her voice weak but steady. "I erased their orders. They won't remember the mission. They won't hurt anyone anymore." I ran to her side. She collapsed into my arms, her whole body trembling. I had to use the key's last energy. "I can't go home now," she whispered. Tears stung my eyes. "Then stay here. Stay with me." She smiled, exhausted but at peace. "Go if you want me." "I will." We looked up. The hunters were gone, walking away, lost and harmless. The sun rose higher, lighting the empty street. For the first time, it felt like the nightmare was over. But as I held Elara, I wondered, would Earth ever accept someone like her? Could she truly be safe here? I didn't know. But as she squeezed my hand and smiled, I realized it didn't matter. Because we had each other. And together, we'd face whatever came next. As dawn filled the sky, Elara whispered through her tears, "I'll be a good girl. I promise, just let me stay." But after everything that happened, could the world ever accept her? The town was quiet now. The hunters were gone, just shadows, lost in the rising sun. I helped Elara sit up, her body still shaking from what she'd done. She looked so tired, but there was a soft glow of peace on her face. We sat together on the curb, the neural key now just a dull, silent piece of metal. Elara pressed it in too. My hand. Keep it safe, John. I don't need it anymore. Not if I have you. For a moment, we said nothing. The world felt new, like it was holding its breath. Finally, I asked the question that scared me most. What happens now? Elara looked down, folding her hands in her lap. I can't go home, not after what I did. I broke every rule of my people. I don't even know if any of them will come for me again. But I want to stay, if you'll let me. Her voice broke as she whispered, I'll be a good girl. I promise, just let me stay. Tears rolled down her cheeks, silent and desperate. I reached out, gently wiping them away. Elara, you saved everyone here. You gave up everything for us. I want you to stay. I want you here with me. A faint smile returned to her lips. She leaned her head on my shoulder, and for a while, we just watched the sunlight spill over the empty streets. Soon, there were sirens in the distance, police and officials, coming to see what happened after the night of chaos. For a second, Elara's grip tightened on my arm, fear in her eyes. What if they find out what I am? She whispered. We'll tell them the truth, I said softly. Maybe for once, people will listen. The police arrived, looking at the two of us, one normal, one not quite human. They asked questions, searched the area, but found nothing. Strange. The hunters had disappeared, memories wiped clean. It was like a bad dream that only we remembered. One officer crouched beside us, his eyes kind. Are you all right, miss? Elara hesitated, but I squeezed her hand and she nodded. I think I am now. Days passed. News spread about the mysterious lights, the strange events. People whispered about aliens and heroes, but no one knew the full truth. The town slowly returned to normal. Life R.A. and I built a new life, quietly. Together, sometimes we sat on the roof at night, watching the stars. Sometimes she'd look up, wondering if someone from her world might return. But she never ran, and I never let her go. One evening, as the sun set, Elara turned to me and smiled. Real, gentle smile. I never thought I could belong anywhere, she said. But you gave me a home, John. And you gave me a purpose, I replied. She squeezed my hand, hope shining in her silver eyes. I'll be a good girl, I promise, no matter what happens next. And as night fell, we watched the sky together, ready for whatever new future waited to outsiders, found by fate, making a new promise under the stars.